Hey, Darlene, how are you? Nice to see you on a live. I usually don't catch you on my lives. Hey, Janet, how are you? Hey, Kendra. Wow, you're all here. Yeah, I was just, it's gonna rain tomorrow and the day after, so, and it's very cloudy and breezy. So I went out while I could and I got a bunch of mint and I cut it right down and it's all going to grow back up. Did the same with the parsley and I washed it thoroughly and I'm just going to get it ready. Wait, put this here. I'm going to get it ready to be dehydrated while we have a discussion. And my green onions, not too many of them left, but there was some. I didn't plant that many either, so can't really complain. And these came from the store. So I can't grow these from seed. They just don't grow. So I had no problem getting these from the store. There's so few. I'm not going to dehydrate those. I do have some dehydrated. I'll just use these to cook. I feel like having Chinese food. Oh, here's another one. Good. Even more. Okay. So I was able to dehydrate a ton of these that I grew after I bought them. So let's see what else is in here today. Hi, Primaholic. Hey, is Kendra, you're a mod, right, hon? So I got some yellow pear-shaped cherry tomatoes. The garden's just about done. But we're gonna have a little discussion. Oh wait, hey, 12 in the house. I'm gonna get going in a few minutes. I found a strawberry. Got some more yellow tomatoes. Yeah, the garden is just about done. So I'm getting whatever I can. I got some peppers. Let's see what else. Oh, more green onions. I'm thrilled. So today we're gonna have a little discussion. Oh wow, another pepper. And then the rest is mint and parsley. So maybe, and if I'm going to let these drain because I washed them really well, I'm going to let them drain a little bit. And I just want to have a little discussion. Ninja air fryer. Yeah, my boyfriend has a Ninja, and it has he doesn't have the thing in it to dehydrate. But I'll tell you, you get some good vegetables on sale or something, or if you know someone who has a garden, I mean, yeah, it's a great way to preserve them. Not everything. Sometimes it's not enough to be canned. Other times it can't be canned. Certain things can't be pressure canned. It won't be safe. So the best thing to do is to dehydrate it. But we've been eating fresh veggies all summer. And hang on, I got some more I'm going to show you that I got yesterday. Okay. And some of you might have seen this. on another video that like a little short. I have a small zucchini and 3 huge jalapenos and a bunch of tomatoes. And that's about it. The tomatoes have to ripen. So yeah, so this is what I got. And jalapenos, I'm gonna let them stay out, get a little red, I think. And then I'm gonna freeze them, and then when I feel like it, I'm gonna make salsa and can it. It's so easy. It is so easy, Jan. It's simple. It's a good way to preserve things. Lemon slices, like anything. You can basically dehydrate anything. So while I am doing this, I'm just going to be getting my parsley together. I wanted to have a little discussion on prepping, and I'm going to answer some questions. So instead of me doing all the talking, I mean, my channel is made up of wonderful people, and you have supported me. Oh, is another green onion? You've supported me and listened to me and hear me yakking every day on here. So now I want to give you folks a chance to ask some questions about prepping. So when you think of prepping, like, I'm just going to ask a question to you guys, okay? I'm going to ask a question, then we're going to see where the conversation leads. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think about prepping? I'm just interested in some answers. So if you have an answer to that question, leave it in the comments. Thank you. Thank you, Kendra. I put all the parsley in with the mint. I'm still finding some parsley, but it grows so quick that I'm glad I cut it down, because I probably, until I start my indoor garden, I have plenty. So what I'm going to do is actually root these for a couple of days, and I'm going to plant them so that I'll have fresh, and then I'm going to dehydrate this. So the question was, what's the first thing you think of when you think of prepping? Who wants to go first? I'm going to call on you if you don't volunteer. Okay, Kendra, you're first. You're it. What is the very first thing you think of when you think of prepping? Canned goods. Yeah. Janet, how about you? If you've ever heard of prepping and what's the first thing that comes to mind? I think, to me, this is how I feel. I think that prepping and frugality go hand in hand. That's just how I feel. Janet, okay, throw a question at me. What would you like to know about prepping? So Kendra said that the first thing that comes to her mind is canned goods. So Kendra, when you think of canned goods, right? Emergency first aid and illness, right? Right. So when you think of canned goods, did you do this before 5 years ago? When you know what? Hang on. Okay. Yeah, it did. I mean, I used to like to be prepared, but only because I didn't want to always go to the store. I was taking care of both my parents, and they, at that time, my dad died like a year or two before that. Um, so he died in 18. Yeah, it was 2 years before. So it was kind of hard. I didn't want to keep going to the store. And I mean, we always had a lot, but I wanted to make sure we had a real lot because I didn't want to, number one, I got fibro. And New England winters are bad. I did not want to constantly be going to the store. So that's why I didn't. I wanted to stock up. And then it was more like of a challenge because we used to get paper coupons then, remember? They don't do that anymore. So with the coupons, it was like, oh, let me see what I can get for free, you know? And I mean, 8 years ago, I was in my 50s. So it was like, I don't know, a turning point in my life. And I just thought it was interesting to try to see what I could get for free. Or I didn't have to, but I did. And then, like I said, I wanted to stock up on more of the things that we use all the time because of the winter. I didn't want to keep going back and forth to stores for myself and bringing back the food of my parents. I just didn't want to because I didn't get the flu shot at that time. I just never got a flu shot. And now we always had a ton of food. I mean, tons. But and we had a deep freezer. And there used to be a lot of meat in there, but it is a very big freezer. It's an upright, it's a commercial grade, commercial size. It is huge. I think what I was thinking is this thing never seems to fill up, and that's why we kept filling it up. But oh, the flu shot, yeah. Yeah, doozy. The snowstorms and who wants to be driving in it? And but then I really ramped it up a couple of months before things, um, came to a halt. I saw it coming like 2 months before that because we were watching the news. And my boyfriend looked at me and I looked at him and he goes, well, here we go. So strategy was because it was me and my mom here. My brother had just moved to Nevada, and it was just me and my mom, and then my daughter and son-in-law, my two granddaughters, were when my brother left. There was more room here, so they stayed with us for like 9 months while they saved to buy a house. So they were here, and then this is all happening, and I'm like, okay, the kids are homeschooled, um, they were homeschooled anyway. So I always wanted to make sure that there was enough in the house. We did cooking lessons, we did all this other stuff. But there was 6 people in the house. So the strategy was my boyfriend would stockpile his house and I would stockpile my house. And whichever house ran out of something, we'd go to the other house and get it. So that's how I started. But basically, it was with the coupons, and then I ramped it up. Um, and then I did start with canned foods and food. Yeah. Yeah, well, they lived across the street. They were renting a nice house, but then the rent kept going up, and they wanted to save and buy a house. So they moved here. They saved a ton of money, but like right after they moved here, things happened. um, so it was interesting. But I'm glad that like it kind of spilled over into different areas. My father loved his grass and his perfect yard, and he didn't really want me to have a garden. So I could never have a garden. So when he passed, I went to look out in the yard one day, and my brother had dug up a big garden area for a garden. And my mother said, she says, she goes, we all love dad, but he's not here. If you kids want a garden, go have a garden. So we did. We did. Yep, I have Monroe Dairy. I have Monroe Dairy. And there's another trick too to the milk. Is the shelf stable milk. You can get the powder or you could get the kind at the Dollar Tree, which I think is fine. Watch the dates. If you go to a Dollar Tree, check the dates because a lot of them, unless you're going to use it quickly, they don't last as long as like you think they should. But it's a fraction of the cost of buying it at a supermarket or at Walmart. The powdered milk mix, I do have milk powder. I got that through August and Farm, so I have that. But I mean, we're big coffee drinkers. I always make sure there's like, at one point, Janet, are you listening to this? At one point, I had 18 huge cans of Maxwell House coffee. See? Make sure they don't see this comment. There you go. But you know what's really good about that shelf stable milk? Not only lasts, it is very good in cooking and baking, and you can kind of save on your regular milk. So what you want to do when if you don't know where to start, just start in your kitchen. Just start in your kitchen. Think of the worst case scenario, okay? God forbid if your income stopped, okay? I'm praying no one ever has to go through that. But assuming it did, you have to assume that it's going to happen. How would you cut back? How would you make the food that you have in your home last? To me, dry rice. Have rice. Have dried beans, and just know that it's a lot of work. You're going to soak them for 8 hours, and you're going to boil them. So have a combination. Have some dry beans, and then get some canned beans. Okay, so there's your rice and beans. Flour, you can do a million things with flour. You can make pasta, bread, pastry, muffins, pancakes, waffles, same thing as pancakes. You can make English muffins. You can make croissants. You can make scones. What else can you make with flour? There's a ton of things you can make with flour. So then I'd start building up a little bit of flour. Yep, me too. Me too. When nobody could find yeast, I'm telling you, I still have it in my freezer. People were learning how to bake their own bread. Number one, you couldn't find it. You couldn't get out to get it. Nobody wanted to go out to get it. And I says, you know what? I ain't going to be caught without it because I felt that I was kind of like next in line to be the matriarch of the family. And I just kind of felt like I had to do this, you know? And then I started gardening. That year was my best garden ever. It was tremendous. So I'm thinking of like, okay, I can't plant fruit trees, so I don't have the room. So really, what am I going to plant that has a lot of nutrition, antioxidants? My daughter's allergic to apples. She's allergic to peaches. She's allergic to kiwi and nuts. And my mom couldn't have seeds. And so I'm like, okay, so I grew blueberries and strawberries. That was our fruit, unless I had canned fruit. And that was another thing. I'm going to take a few more questions. But the other thing was when I was doing the canned goods, when my parents were both here, I wanted to always have canned fruit on hand because they love their fruit in the morning and they liked it for a snack or after lunch. My father would go, oh, I want something cold. So, we'd chill it and then he'd eat it, and my father did a lot of cooking and baking until he got sick. So having that was a staple. I was like, suppose in the winter we don't get out or things are seasonal, at least let them have their fruit. So I loved having the fruits, the canned fruit in the house. Yes, EpiPen. Yeah. She says she can, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's like saying I can eat seafood after it's cooked. I can't. And I'm not going to take the chance. But that's another thing, Janet. If have some canned tuna, how many? Like it all depends on how much can you afford a week to put away. If you could take $5 a week, $5, you could go to Dollar Tree. You can get a bag of rice, a bag of beans. That's $2.50. You could get 2 shelf-stable milks, or 1 shelf-stable milk. I'm trying to think, and maybe a box of pasta. So now you got some pasta. Yep, you have some pasta. You have rice. Rice and beans are a staple. You have some milk to work with. I'll go with you. Janet doesn't live. Well, Janet lives like 3 minutes from me, and she's a good family friend. I gotta go pick you up, Jen. We gotta go. I'll take you to the Dollar Tree in North Providence. Yeah, Centerdale. I don't go to the other one. It's a zoo in there. Katie, I saw your question. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to answer you. Yes, I'm going to plant some parsley, and the rest will be dehydrated, along with all this mint. And I like to be prepared, like Kendra said. Emergency first aid and illnesses, that's really important. Batteries for flashlights, even if you only have 1 or 2 flashlights, it's better than nothing. Just get the batteries for them, have them ready, have them in a central place where if the lights go out, you can grab them. It doesn't have to be a weather disaster either. It could be like, God forbid, somebody hit a pole and electricity went down for a while. Try to keep a bag of ice in your freezer. So now you have ice. You have it for an emergency if somebody needs an ice pack. You have it. You could keep things cold. Batteries, flashlights, ice, Band-Aids, antibiotic ointment, Imodium, Mylanta, Pepto-Bismol if you use it, Tylenol, aspirin. I got all my stuff from the Dollar Tree. I got gauze. I got Gas X. I have stool softener. I have an animal. I have what else do I have in there? I have a bunch of stuff in there. Janet, that's awesome. You have a first aid and you have flashlight. That's awesome. Don't forget some Vicks Vapor Rub, because that can really help you if you can't breathe. And what's the other thing I like to keep? Alcohol, peroxide, cotton balls, Q-tips. Dollar Tree. Just take $5 a week. Go to the Dollar Tree, buy 5 things, or 4, depending on how much they cost. Oh, Kendra, you are so blessed. What a blessing that is. Yeah, that's a blessing. Yeah, when we do a prepping video or something, we don't have to show everything. We shouldn't. But so you show a sample of what you have. It depends on what your family uses. Now we all know that TP was very. I'm going to take one of these mint leaves, and I'm just going to put it in my water. Break it up a little bit. My finger. It's my finger. Yeah, TP. So believe it or not, I have one big, huge package left from 5 years ago. So, and I started buying more, but I'm hanging on to that other one because I think it's a relic. I mean, the rolls were like this, you know? Um, yeah. So I'm going to tell you, this is why I like the Shores Rewards. I'm not going there to buy stuff that I'm not using. I buy the items that are on sale that I think are a good buy. And when I do, I just put in my phone number and I get these rewards. I have another box of free Kleenex coming. So what better way to just accumulate some stuff? You know, I had over 12 boxes last year. I was down to like 2 and I started collecting it again. So every 100 points, you can get a box of Kleenex, but they don't let you get it all at one time. You know, you can't click that if you have 400 points, you can't click that you want 4 boxes of Kleenex. They'll only let you get one at a time. I know it. 20. Oh my goodness. Which did you get? Yeah, they should. They should. They take a while. I would try it on a sunny windowsill. Because I'm gonna do some in my arrow garden, but I'm gonna do some in a little pot. You know, it just smells so good. And the thing is with the herbs, it's like, do you really, if you're cooking, I don't have any dry parsley. Do you really want to go to the store buy some parsley? You're in the middle of cooking. I mean, yeah, we all make a list and try to be frugal and try not to forget stuff, but it happens. So, you could just go and clip off what you want and use it. Canned tomatoes are good to have. Yeah, it is. It's Safeway and Albertsons. So I'm going to ask this. If you had one area where you needed to prep more, what would it be? See, I think I need to work more on my water storage. I'm going to invest in a rain barrel, which I should have because it would have helped with the gardening because the water bill is through the roof. A freezer. Yeah, definitely a freezer is excellent. But Janet, if you're not afraid to canning food is great because if there's no power and there's no electricity, technically the food is already cooked and it lasts forever. Oh, that's sweet. They must have liked him, huh? Yeah, I definitely have to stock up on water, but if you got places to shove cases of water under your bed, if you don't have a lot of space or to find a spot, water is essential. Yeah, they remember him, huh? But Jan, if you can dehydrate, that is going to be phenomenal. There you go. I got mine in, well, you could keep it in the freezer, but, and to get anything out of it, you're supposed to freeze it for 3 days at least, and then leave it out for 3 days before you store it. Mine's in a 5-gallon bucket, and then I have like another 20 pounds in the freezer. So, at one point, I had 2 buckets of rice. So, you have no more buckets? Ugh. Well, yeah, because you don't want to. The only thing you could do is start using what's in the buckets to make room. I don't either, and I don't have a room for a lot of buckets, and I don't want the buckets in the basement. I'm not putting them outside, so they're in my pantry closet underneath all the shelves, and there's not room. There's not room for any more buckets. They can be pricey. Wow. Yeah, that's cheap, Jan. Bake bread and make some rice and beans. Lentils is another good thing to have. You can just, like the beans, if the dry beans, I mean, they'll last forever, but you could put them in a mason jar if you want. Um, if you don't have buckets, like if you don't have a lot of buckets, you could get, oh, wow. You know what you could do, especially Kendra or somebody who doesn't have the room or doesn't want to buy the buckets because they can run you 15, $20. If you could get gallon-sized mason jars, get one. Put an oxygen absorber in it and put in your rice. Get another one, put some flour in it. I'm wondering how much a gallon would hold of flour. So that's always, it's always good to just find different ways. She's complaining her coffee's cold. I like my coffee cold in this weather. I've been drinking it warm, but I think I have to go back to. I've been drinking it warm. I think I need iced coffee for the rest of the season. It's funny. It's right around October 1st. Me and my mom used to stop wanting hot coffee. She was my buddy. I miss my mama. In case you can't tell. Wow, I have a lot of nice veg here. It's not bad for 2 days of harvest at the end of September. I mean, I think this is pretty good. And I still have red bell peppers growing out there. Now, I don't know if they're going to turn. They're not even that big. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, these got to get a little more ripe. Put these on top. So I'm going to make some nice salsa with everything that I have. And I'm going to be making some mint tea. Yeah, it's going to be kind of warm. It is. I think it'll be a iced coffee and water. I have to drink more water. There's something else. It's coming wintertime now. This is not medical advice at all. I'm not a doctor. I can only tell you what works for me. Honey is a natural, they say, I'm not sure, allegedly, a natural anti-inflammatory, and it helps kill bacteria. And when I was sick 2 years ago, I was coughing for like 3 months. The only thing that helped me, I got a glass like this with some water, threw the glass in the microwave, right, with some honey and lemon, fresh squeezed lemon, and stirred it up. It calmed my cough right down, and I could actually close my eyes a little while without that croupy, sounding like a dead seal cough, like just before they're ready to kick the bucket. Yeah. So what I like to have honey, even if it's just a small jar, even if it's just a small jar of honey, it doesn't go bad. It may get older and crystallize, and you could just heat it up in a double boiler, and it'll put the thing in a double boil on the stove or in some boiling water, and it'll decrystallize, but it won't be so solid. But always have honey and lemons. You could do the lemon juice in the bottle. I don't know if it's pure lemon juice. I'm going to have to read it, but I mean, it's not bad in a pinch, okay? But what I like to do is get lemons and I slice them up and I put them on a plate and I freeze them for a couple of hours and then I pop them off the plate and put them in a baggie, throw them in the freezer, and I always have um, lemons for whenever I want. If you need water lemon, which is very good for you. Yeah, yeah. I never buy it locally though. That's the thing. But yeah, it's a good remedy. It's a good remedy. Now, like I said, I'm not going to give medical advice because I don't know. But I know that lemon water helps flush things from the kidneys. And it's just good for your system. So that's something. Trying to think if there's anything else. Anybody have any other questions? Darlene, do you have a question? Yeah, it does. My mother used to tell us when we would cough and have a teaspoon of honey. It's like we hated it when we were kids. We hated it. But I'll tell you, it works. You just, if you're diabetic or something, you just have to be very careful, just like you would with sugar, you know. But if you can have a little bit of the honey in some tea, if you can do it safely, then I think it works good. I can't find those little packets of that lemon powder that I bought. Yeah, you know what? If you buy these from the grocery store, the green onions, you cut them, you leave the white part with the root, put them in a glass of water, right? Let them root a day or two, soften up, and then just put them in a little pot on your windowsill. True lemon? What's that? What do you mean? Oh, the lemon juice? When I took classes, I wrote them and they sent me a case to give away. Oh, imagine that. Oh, isn't that nice? And how did you use it in the class? Yeah, I like them too. They're very flavorful. Oh, so it was those little packets that I had at at the Dollar Tree. Yeah. Now I guess I could make my own lemon powder. Why not? I made my own garlic powder. Just dehydrate the daylights out of it. Throw it in the blender. Not a bad idea. It'll save up freezer space. See, that's the thing. I was always thinking of how am I going to save freezer space. I was freezing everything during that time we went through. Um, and that's when I says, well, you know what? Maybe I'll start dehydrating because I was afraid to can. So with my unemployment being astronomical, I said, I think I'm going to buy myself a dehydrator. So I got a dehydrator and I started dehydrating stuff and I liked it. And from there, I learned how to water bath can. First thing I did was some peaches. I did one peach. I wanted to see how it went. And my mother loved canned peaches. She used to help my aunts can them when she was a little girl during the Depression. And she absolutely loved them. So, and then from there, I said, well, if I could do this, then I can pressure can. And the rest is history. I'm from Rhode Island. Rhode Island. We don't say car, we say car. CA, car. Where's the car? Yeah, we talk exactly like President Kennedy. As a matter of fact, he got married in Newport, Rhode Island. uh, my accent. I wish I could hear you guys on here. That would be awesome. Imagine if we could all take turns talking. That would be so cool. You know, and another good thing to have on hand is if you're sick. I swear by the broth. However, whatever way you have to do it, stock up on broth or stock, whatever you call it. But yeah, broth is important if you get sick. You can just sip on some broth. It's a good base. You can make a quick soup. You can make a quick gravy with it. Um, it's just good to have. And if you can make it from scratch, all the better. But if not, you know what? That would be now. I would say Dollar Tree. If I had $5, what would I get at the Dollar Tree? I think broth would be one of them. Too bad everything's not $1 like it used to be. But I would definitely get 5 things from the Dollar Tree. I would get a carton of broth, a carton of shelf-stable milk, a bag of rice, a bag of beans, and probably a box of pasta or spaghetti or something. I love all my veg. I'm going to miss my garden this winter. I have to say, I'm not too thrilled. I am and I'm not, but I'm not too thrilled with myself because I was out so much this summer that my garden suffered. I didn't nurture it the way I should have. Um, yeah, I think I would have had a lot more had I done more. So, what are you gonna do? Darlene, are you still here? Janet? Thank you guys for coming in. If you haven't given me a thumbs up, we'd love for you to give us a thumbs up. Join in the conversation. Just ask a question about prepping, any concerns, if you're just starting out. The reasons why, if you're thinking like, why would I prep? Why wouldn't you? That's what I say. Why wouldn't you? The mint in the water is really good. I like it. That reminds me, I'm going to put a little wedge of lemon in it. Be right back, guys. I love having lemons in the house. I love them. Can you guys hear me? Did something happen? No one's talking. It's got me worried. But it's been a nice live. I'm really enjoyed it. If you just came in, just drop a line. Let me know where you're from, and don't be afraid to. Don't be afraid to post a question about prepping if that's what you got. Hey, sorry guys, lost you. Where is everyone? Come back in if you're there. I reconnected. I didn't know if maybe I lost you guys. Nobody's chatting. Thought you guys liked my accent. If you are here, could you just type something in? I don't know if we lost connection. I hope not, because it was a real nice discussion. I really enjoyed it. Welcome in, and don't know what happened. I'll wait a few more minutes. You guys are still coming in. No one's chatting, and I don't know if I lost connection or lost the sound. So if you just came in, could you please just type in hi so that I know you can hear me? I would really appreciate it. Okay, I got a message from my friend Crystal. She says she's in the chat. I don't know what happened. Hang on. Don't know what else to do. Okay, I got you guys on all messages. I don't know what happened. All right, listen, you guys can hear me. That's okay. Thank you all so much for coming on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go start my dehydrating. There's you, Darlene, and Janet. I don't know what happened. Crystal. But thank you for letting me know. I thought it was going crazy. But thank you guys so much for coming on. And I do appreciate it. It was a nice chat. We'll do this again. We'll do some prepping question and answer again. And I'll try to give you more of a notice so you can write down your questions if you have any. And if you do have my phone number or a way to get in touch with me, if you have questions, you can always message me. So I'm going to go dehydrate some stuff. I think I'm going to cook my little zucchini. I'm going to cook this. I have this for dinner tonight. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for the thumbs up and the conversation. And most of all, your friendship. I love you all so much. And I will catch you on my next video.